So
for
1 by
ut?
s.
1 by s. Okay, very good. 1 by s. And tut? Tut, if you solve tut, what you will get?
স্যার এটা স্যার উপরে টি থাকবে না স্যার, টি বাই এস হবে।
1 by s square, okay?
1 by s square, yes, sir.
And e to the power minus at ut. Then what you will get? E to the power minus
1
at
1 by s plus a.
1 by s plus a. Okay, very good. 1 by s plus a. And then sine omega t, we have already solved for sine omega t, right? Sine omega
Yes, sir.
t ut. Sine omega t, then ut. Okay, ut is a unit step function. Ut does not affect the function because the value of ut equals 1, right? In normal case, what is it? Unit step function? If you represent in graph, it looks like this. We have time t here, right? We have time t, and this is ut. So the value of ut is always remain 1 from time t, t equal t. Okay, that is always remain at location 1 from time t equal t. So sine omega t ut equal omega by s square plus omega square. Okay, if you write for cos omega t, what will be the value for cos omega t?
S by s square plus
স্যার
omega square.
এস বাই এস স্কোয়ার
By
প্লাস ওমেগা
s
স্কোয়ার।
square plus omega square. Okay, so this is the Laplace transformation table. So please remember this table. So we need this table for future correspondence when you solve some mathematics. Okay, so in that case we need this table. Okay, so there are some other rules of Laplace transformation for multiplication and division rules. I mean for integral and derivative rules there also. Okay, so let me talk about the first. What can we talk? We can talk about derivative rules of Laplace transformation. What is the derivative rules of Laplace transformation? Suppose if you have this d by dt xt, d by dt xt, and if you want to make the Laplace transformation of this function, then what will be the value in frequency domain? Can you say that? What will the value in frequency domain if you have d by dt xt? Any idea?
স্যার ভাবতেছি।
No, sir.
Please think. Yeah, say something.
স্যার এটা স্যার এরকম হবে স্যার, এক্স বাই এস ই টু দি পাওয়ার সামথিং।
Okay, f of x e to the power x. Okay, whatever. Okay, so I will give you a shortcut formula. Okay, that is not correct actually. Okay, so you want to find the Laplace transformation of this one. So Laplace transformation, there are several. Representation. You can also represent like this. That is the Laplace transformation. And you want to make the Laplace transformation of this function. Okay. So if you look at here, you have you have a derivative term here, that is d by dt, right? That is the derivative term here. Okay. And you have xt. Okay. D by dt, and you have xt. Now, if there is only xt, if you make the Laplace transform of xt, what you will get? Yeah. What you will get if you make the Laplace transformation of xt? Can you say what you will get? If you make the a Laplace transformation of xt, what you will get? Hey, say.
Sir, 1.
Sir, only x.
How can you forget this? If you make ft Laplace transform, then you get fs. And if you make xt Laplace transform, what you get?
স্যার বড়
Sir,
হাতের
fx.
এক্স স্যার
Yeah, it should be capital XS. It's simple.
Yes.
Very simple actually. XS. And you get XS, right? You get XS here. Okay. And for d by dt, what you get for d by dt, if you make the Laplace transformation of d by dt? Yeah. Can you say that?
স্যার ইন্টিগ্রেশন ডিফারেন্সিয়েশন কাটাকাটি চলে যাবে স্যার
Should be S. Where is integration? There is no integration here. It should be SXS. Okay, let me write down the rules. The rule is, so if you have multiplication by S in the Laplace domain, that corresponds to differentiation in the time domain. So you can say multiplication by S in the time domain CORRES corresponds to, so you are multiplying by S in the okay, it is not in time domain, so there is a wrong, it is in frequency domain actually, right? In the frequency domain. Okay, multiplication by S in the frequency domain corresponds to what? Corresponds to differentiation, right? D by dt. What is dt? Differentiation, right? Differentiation in the
Time domain.
time domain, right? Time domain. So frequency domain multiplication by S, that is equal to differentiation in the time domain. That is the number 1, step number 1. So now if you go to the step number 2, what it says, replace the occurrence of d by dt with S. So you have to replace the occurrence of d by dt with S. So replace the occurrence RANC, occurrence of d by dt what can you say in general terms? So in general you can say, in general you can write the Laplace transformation of d by dt to the power n into xt equal what? Equal what? Say it.
স্যার
Say it.
এস এক্স এস স্যার
Sir, SXS.
S square F. S square XS.
S to the power n.
এস টু দি পাওয়ার এন এক্সিস ইয়েস স্যার
Okay, that is the formula. Now I will give you some more and you tell me what will be the result. Okay. Okay, so this formula you will need when you solve mathematics. So that's very important to keep in mind. Okay, so let's write something. Okay, it's not, color is not that much. Okay, let's use this one. Okay, so Laplace transformation of d squared by dt squared gt. Now tell me what will be the Laplace transformation of this function.
Sir,
Sir,
s
S
square
square
for
GS.
gt gs sir
Square
S
plus
square
sir.
capital G of s. Okay.
GS.
So it is
Yes.
very simple. So s square capital G of s. Similar way, if I give you another example, Laplace transformation of d cube gt by dt cube, and what you'll get for that?
S to the power 6, sir.
The word is it 6?
S cube.
T
S
sir.
cube.
S cube
Yeah, it
GS.
should. Yeah, it should be s cube
Oh, S cube, sir.
and gs, right? Capital Gs, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
this is the formula. This is the formula. Suppose now if I give you an equation in terms of equation, d square d cube by dt cube ct plus what can I write? Uh, yeah, plus ct suppose equal ut. Now how? Okay, can you tell me what is the Laplace transformation of this function here?
S cube
Yeah.
GS.
Yeah, first one
Yes.
say continue.
S
S
cube
cube, sir.
Sir,
S cube.
x cube বড়াতে ct sir, capital ct.
power
It
to
will
CS.
Yes, yes.
it should
CS.
be CS,
CS,
right?
sir.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yes sir,
Okay.
yes sir, sir.
Then so S cube CS
Plus, sir,
Plus,
capital
plus.
CS.
cube CS. Oh, it should be CS, not G.
C.
Plus
CS, sir.
Sir, capital CS.
Yes. Capital CS. Yes.
US, sir.
Sir, 1 by
1 by S.
Sir, 1 by S.
1 by S. So CS is your output, right? So if I tell you to find the output, so how can you find out? You get the CS here.
Cube plus 1.
Yes. So that means CS output equal. You know, CS is the output. That is what you know, right? Already. Okay, that is what you can again. I mean, make partial. Partial fraction expansion. That is what you can apply here. A by this, a plus b by this, and you can go to the time domain. Okay. So that is the derivative formula. So now we like to move to the integral formula. How the integral formula will look like. So integrals.
ওরে বাবা গান গায় কি সুন্দর করে।
He can guy.
Okay, so what is the integral formula? So integral in the time domain converted to the division in the S domain. So integral in the time domain converted to the division in S domain or frequency domain. So integral in the time domain is converted to the division in the what that means. Okay, let me give you an example. Suppose you want to find the Laplace transformation of this function. Integration gt dt. Okay, that is what you want to find, the Laplace transformation of integration gt. So how can you find that? Can you say what will be the result? Any idea? Just look at the prompt, what it says. Prompt says integral in the time domain converted to division in the s domain. So what that means actually? Can you translate that to equation?
The time domain divided by fs.
স্যার জিটি বাই ডিটি হয়ে যাবে মানে
GT by S হয়ে যাবে স্যার,
Yeah, it
GS
should
by
be
S স্যার, GS by
GS
S.
by S. Very good. So
GS
you
by
can understand this. So when you have integration, that should be S will be divided. Integration, if there are double integration, then there will be S square. If there are triple integration, there will be S cube. We'll see that. We'll see that later in the example. And like this here, multiplied by S. And here, just the opposite. It should be divided by S. Just the opposite. Then, okay, then we have an example. So let me give you that, and hopefully you can solve it by applying what we have learned so far. Okay, the example is 2.1. 2.1, you have to find just, it's very simple. You have to just find the Laplace transformation. That means you have ft equal e to the power minus at ut. So f is equal what? Alright, can you solve it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, please solve it. And let me help you a little bit. So we have ft here. Yeah, we have ft. What is the value of ft? Ft equal a e to the power minus at ut. That is ft. Now, you know that ut is 1, right? For time 0 to infinite time, ut always remain, the value of ut remain 1. So you just you can just multiply with 1 because ut always remain 1. It is the unit step function. So ft equal basically a e to the power minus at. Okay,
স্যার
after
এ
that,
কি কনস্ট্যান্ট এখানে
yeah, what did you say?
স্যার এ কি কনস্ট্যান্ট
Maybe.
Who said t constant? What you are saying?
A, sir.
Small a or capital A?
স্যার
Capital A, sir.
ক্যাপিটাল এ স্যার
Yeah, capital A is constant.
Okay,
It
sir.
can be any number. Not affect because it is not t. There is no t.
Sir, a by 1, sir, a by s plus a, sir, answer.
Yes.
Right?
A by S plus.
Right. Your answer
Sir,
should be a by
capital A
s
by
plus
S. S plus A.
right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully you can solve it. It's not that much difficult, right? Okay. Very good. Okay. Very good. So if you have problem, you can, or it is a solved problem from the book, you can always go that there and you can see it. Okay, so you don't want to solve it, so it is simple. You can solve it by yourself. Okay, so then article 2.4. transfer function. Okay, so what is transfer function? Okay, so transfer function represents the input-output relationship of a system, right? So transfer function represents the what? It represents the input-output relationship of a system. That is what. There are two types of system. One is closed loop system, other is open loop system. And for these two type of system, we have transfer function. For open loop system, we have transfer function. Again, for closed loop system, we have transfer function. You know that transfer function represents the input-output relationship of a system. So you can write that it represents the input relationship of a system. So if you want to represent that in equation, you can write transfer function equal output by in. So you can say transfer function. In short, you can write TF. TF means transfer function equal by in. Okay, so output by input. But it is not efficiency. Efficiency is different thing. So expressed in terms of S domain. So transfer function expressed in terms of frequency domain. So you can write that point expressed okay, so expressed in terms of S domain, that means it is expressed in terms of frequency domain. And you know that there we have open loop system. So the open loop system is something like that. So it has a system, and it can be represented by the block of system represented by GS, and it has input. Input is RS, you know that, and it has output. Output is CS. There is no feedback in open loop system. So the output represented by CS, and I mean the input system block represented by GS, system controller, whatever there, all the block together will be represented by GS, controller system together. Okay. And you know that in open loop system there is no feedback, so that's why there is no feedback. And input represented by RS and CS. Okay. So now you know what is the value of CS. Can you write the equation of CS? What will be the equation of CS for this case, for this diagram? Yeah. Okay, who can tell what is the equation of CS for this diagram? Anybody?
So RS plus GS, sir.
Not plus. It is, there is no
RS,
plus.
RS divided by GS.
Divided by, sir.
Yes, divided by
into
RS.
GS.
RS into GS, right? So there is always, you remember, always multiplication relationship. There is
Yes,
no
yes.
plus or division relationship. So CS equal, because signal is flowing from this side to this side, and the relationship is multiplication. You have to multiply them. So this is our output. This is our input. And this is our system, controller, whatever we have all together. We can write system. Just forget about controller. So we have input, we have system, we have output. That is the open loop system. And system or plant. System also called plant. Okay, so that is the open loop system. and you can write CS equal RS into GS. Now from here, you know that CS is the output and RS is the input, right? So, and if you, what is transfer function? Transfer function is nothing but output by input. So if you can write in terms of output by input this equation, then you get the transfer function. So just write that form, output by input. So CS is the output and RS is the input. Then you get GS. So whatever the system block, that is actually transfer function, right? Because
Yes,
we know
sir.
that the output by input equal transfer function. So this is actually our transfer function for the given open loop system. So what is the transfer function of this open loop system? The GS. The transfer function of this open loop system is GS. So you can note it. So this is our transfer. So GS is our transfer. You can write transfer. Okay, so that is for open loop system. Now, if you want to move to the closed loop system, then what will be the transfer function for closed loop system? Okay, now let's talk about closed loop system. For closed loop system, okay, for closed loop system. Okay, let's go out of. Okay, so it's a long one, so it will break in between. So I think let's go out, finish this. I mean session, and let's come back again.
Okay, sir.
So it will be better.
Okay, did you take note this one
Yes, sir.
and this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good.
Fast.
Oh wait. Take it. Done.
Yes, sir. Done.
Okay, sir.
Okay, second one also taken.
Yes, sir.
Finish or what?
Finish, sir. Finish.
Okay, good. For closed system. Okay, now if you go to the diagram of closed system, you know that you have the diagram something like this. We have a summing junction here. Then we have plant. Here we have plant. Okay. And after that, we have what? We have input here, definitely. Input. Okay, we have input here, and we have output. Output. Okay. Then we have plant, and we have error. E double R. Or error, and we have feedback. Okay, from the output. And in feedback, what we have in that box?
Sensor, sir.
Sensor, sir.
Okay, very good. Yeah, sensor. Okay, we have taken controller and system together. That's why it is called plant. We have considered one together. Okay, now let's replace this value with some variables. So we can replace this diagram with some variable. Okay, so let's do it. So we can write this diagram like this. We have input here, and this is the summing junction, and input represented by RS. You already seen that for open system. And then we have error signal represented by yes. Then we have what? We have plant or system, that is represented by yes. Then we have output. Output is represented by CS. You already seen that. And then we have feedback. Yes, we have feedback. And in feedback, we have what we have. HS. HS for feedback. Okay, that is our system, closed-loop system represented by some variable. Okay, now for that system, we like to find what? We like to find the transfer function. Transfer function, you know what is the definition of transfer function? You already know it. What is the definition of transfer function?
So output by input.
Yeah, transfer function equal output by input. Okay, but similar.
Yes, sir.
Output by input. Okay, that is the transfer function. Ready. No problem. Okay, so that is our transfer function, and we can represent by this diagram at the right side. You can see the diagram. Okay, now for this for this closed loop system, let's write the equation from the given diagram. So what is the equation of error? Can you say what is the equation? Okay, there is a feedback signal. You can represent the feedback signal by PS. Okay, now what is the equation of error for this diagram? Given diagram.
Sir, BS is feedback, sir.
Sir, RS minus BS, sir.
Yes, so ES equal RS minus BS, right? Very simple.
Okay, sir.
Minus PS. You can see from the diagram. Okay. Now, if I ask that what is the equation of PS in terms of CS? CS is here. So what is the equation of PS in terms of CS? Can you say what is the equation of PS?
Sir,
Yes,
HS
equal
into
what?
CS, sir. HS into CS.
CS equal CS.
Sir, HS into CS, sir.
minus CS.
Right. Yes, HS into CS. Okay, good. Now, what is the equation of CS? Output. CS is the output. What is the equation of CS? Yeah, what is the equation of CS?
Yes, RS minus BS ফার্স্ট ব্র্যাকেট অফ চেঞ্জ করব, তারপর হচ্ছে ইনটু
In
জিএস।
terms of yes.
আচ্ছা, ইএস ইনটু জিএস স্যার।
Yes, into GS. Very good.
Yes.
And GS. Now from here you can find the value of ES, right? Definitely. CS by GS. Okay, we got two more equation here, PS and the value of ES. Now from equation 1, let's go back to equation number 1. Let's go back to from equation 1. So you know the value of ES already. The value of ES equals CS by GS. You can put that CS by GS equals, you know the value of, okay, BS right here. So RS minus BS. BS equals CS into AS. Okay, after that we can arrange this equation. You can bring CS this side, right? Definitely. So CS by GS plus CS into, sorry, XS equal RS. Okay, from here you can write CS into 1 by GS plus SS equal RS. Okay, and from there, if you can make LCM, CS into GS 1 plus GS SS equal what? Equal RS, right?
টিউশন করলি না দিদার যা
Okay, then CS by RS equal
নুসরাতে গেলে ওর 1 ঘন্টা লাগবে তাড়াতাড়ি
Ria mute.
GS SS. Okay, so you get that CS by RS equal GS by 1 plus GS SS. So can you imagine what will be the transfer function for closed loop system? What is the transfer function for this system? GS
স্যার
by,
ইট ইজ রিলেটেড উইথ দ্য স্যার সিস্টেম এন্ড দ্য ফিডব্যাক স্যার।
yeah, what did you say?
স্যার ইট ইজ রিলেটেড উইথ দ্য সিস্টেম এন্ড দ্য ফিডব্যাক স্যার।
Yeah, so it has this transfer function GS by 1 plus GS into ASS. That is the transfer function for the given closed loop system, right? So this system you can represent like open loop system like this way. We have input is the RS, and then we have transfer function, and then we have output CS. So here you can write GS by 1 plus GS ASS. And that is the transfer function for this given system, right? So transfer function. Okay, now let me give you some problem, and you can find whether you can find the transfer function from that given problem or not. Okay, let me give you some problem. Suppose if I give you CS, oh, this is not CS, this is RS actually. That is the input. Input represented by RS, right? So RS GS, then we have CS here. Basis.
স্যার ওই জায়গায় মাইনাস হবে না স্যার ইনপুটে স্যার প্লাস
No, this
মাইনাস
is a plus, that is a positive feedback.
ওকে স্যার
Feedback. So transfer function. The question is transfer function. Transfer function. What is transfer function? CS by RS equal what? Then we can give another example. Five G. CSRS. Okay, can you find transfer function? Okay, please find for these two circuit.
ওকে স্যার
স্যার ফার্স্ট ওয়ান হচ্ছে GS by 1 minus GS by GSHS।
Okay.
স্যার ফার্স্ট ওয়ান হচ্ছে স্যার
C by C by C. Okay. Yes, tell.
স্যার GS by 1 minus GSHS।
GS by 1 minus GS excess. What we have here, GS by yes, you are right. So you can write the first one. GS by 1 minus GS excess. Very good. And what about this one?
স্যার করতেছি স্যার।
স্যার এখানে বিএস এর ভ্যালুটা কত স্যার? Sir,
BS is always BS. Okay, you get the result.
Sir, just a minute, sir. স্যার এরকম কি আসবে 35 সিটি বাই 1 প্লাস 350 সিটি স্কোয়ার?
What did you say?
স্যার 35 সিটি বাই 1 প্লাস 350 সিটি স্কোয়ার।
Right. So you were right. So it should be this actually yes. 35 CT by 1
1
plus.
প্লাস 350 সিটি স্কোয়ার।
That is the result. Okay, so we're going to finish now. So I think we have again class here. Okay. Take screenshot this one and also this one. Okay, it should be 372. 137. 107. Okay, please respond. Please respond. Shahanam Rabbi,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Human Kabir,
Sir, please.
Rol,
Present, please,
Rol,
sir.
yeah, Imon,
Present, please.
Present,
Hasanul,
yes,
Hasanul
sir. Yes,
Zubair,
Yes,
Hasanul,
sir.
yes, sir.
Zubair, okay.
Yes, sir.
Shakil,
Yes, sir.
Sajjad,
Present, sir.
Shahidul,
Yes, sir. Present, sir.
Tika,
Yes, sir.
Sharul Islam, Sharul absent, Abu Dhafar,
Present, sir.
Kamil Rahman,
Yes, sir.
Tushar,
Yes, sir.
Ashibur Rahman, Shine Alam. You can also raise your hand if
Yes,
you.
sir.
Okay, so Muhammad Ali,
Present, sir.
Ajit,
Yes, sir.
Rahat,